Hello, this is Kelly Beck, your host for the next half hour or so on the Kingman Clipboard. With us today in the studios of KGPS is congressional candidate Charles Black, who is running against incumbent Trent Franks this August 24th. Mr. Black, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today.
Now, before we get started on any politics, is there anything you'd like voters to know about you personally?
Well, me personally, I grew up all over Arizona, so this is my home, pretty much my home state, even though I was born in California. I served for 9 years in the military. I've deployed to Bosnia on a peacekeeping mission, and I've served on a combat tour in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow. It's funny, I was born in California and lived most of my life in Arizona, too. So I understand you go to Kingman Christian as well.
Yes, I do. I've been a member there since 1989.
Oh, cool. And so why are you running for Congress?
Well, I decided to run for Congress. While I was in the military, I never paid much attention to politics. I listened to the officers above me. I did my job. I respected the commander-in-chief, which is our president. And I stayed away from politics as far as possible. Several years ago, some friends asked me to run for a city council position, and I turned it down. Then after watching what the Obama administration was doing and seeing how dangerous and how bad things were getting in our country, I started looking into the offices I could run in Arizona. But being that I had just come back to Arizona, there were several I could not run for because I did not hold enough residency time. I looked at our congressional position, and I felt that it could be served a lot better than what it is.
Okay, can you explain on that a little bit more about how it's not being served as well?
Well, I honestly believe our current Congressman, Trent Franks, me and Mr. Franks have had dinner together. We've socialized. We've talked in depth. Our families come from the same small mining towns in Colorado. While he has been very conservative in our district, that's all he has been. He's only voted. You don't see him in the media. You don't see him telling people that they're wrong, that this is wrong for Arizona, it's wrong for America. He just sits back quietly and votes. And like I said, this administration that we have now is extremely dangerous. They don't care about our future. We're on a road to socialism. And it's going to take a fighter and someone that's going to express their voice and make it heard on both sides that we need to do what's in the best interest for our country.
And do you think that running against a man like Trent Franks, who has been in office for 4 terms now, do you think that the length of time that he's spent in office is going to be a challenge to you or a benefit?
Right now, I can't say it's going to be a benefit or a challenge. Granted, there are a lot of people out there now that are jumping up and down screaming, vote the incumbents out, but he does have a conservative voting record. Now, granted, there are several areas with his voting record that I could challenge whether or not they are conservative or even constitutional. Yet, like I was saying before, people were promised change and hope in 2008. We're ready for our change, and we're hoping it's coming August 24th and November 2nd of this year. Because if we don't change who's in office now on 2010 elections and the 2012 elections, our country is heading in a bad direction.
All right, and can you explain a little bit about what happened to you on June 14th?
June 14th, I'll back up a little bit. While I was in Afghanistan, I was hit with a grenade at our front gate. I am a disabled veteran. I do receive a VA disability. I've earned it. I didn't ask for it. I just asked for treatments through the VA and ended up with a disability from them. But June 14th, I was out at a local gun range with several friends of mine, and I got a phone call from my mother that there was a gentleman at the house, well, actually 2 gentlemen, who were telling her they were federal agents and wanted to know where I was, when I'd be home, how much money do I have, how many vehicles do I own, what kind of vehicles, does he own any firearms, Does he own any assault rifles? These two gentlemen blocked my mother in our carport between the car and the wall to where she could not get away from them, no matter if she had tried. Left her in tears. She called me, gave me the guy's number, and I called him and started asking him what this is all about. And he said, well, Mr. Black, could you come back home so we could talk? I told him, no, I've got meetings and I'm in the middle of stuff. I said, you want to talk to me? You come see me. Well, they showed up at the range. They were demanding that not only would I be disarmed, they wanted other members, even those not associated with me at the time, to disarm at the range. Wow. That's the wrong place to be, to come out and tell people that you're going to violate their Second Amendment rights.
No kidding.
So these gentlemen continue to start questioning me in a paramilitary style tactic, the same thing, type of questioning I used to use against enemy combatants to get information. Very misleading questions to get someone to admit guilt. Well, wasn't guilty of anything, so I wasn't going to feed them with any information that they could use against me. I researched the issues a little bit more, and it turns out that there are possible some clerical errors in my disability benefits, not on my part. And these clerical errors are in my benefit, not theirs. But when I talked to the agency that's handling my disability, they also stated that they were unaware of any type of fraudulent or criminal investigation that I was being investigated on, which really raised some questions at that point. So after some more phone calls and some more inquiring, this agency, which is the Office of the Inspector General, special agents, have almost taken this as their own little way, I guess, of intimidating me to withdraw from the race. I have said it very strongly in the past, and I'll continue to say it very strongly, that I in no way suspect our current Congressman Trent Franks of any involvement in this. I believe there are others involved, and eventually the truth always does come out.
That it does. So, also on July 29th, that was 2010, Arizona